Hello and welcome to Focal Point. I'm Robert Quigley. Our first guest on today's program is Marietta Mayor Steve Tumlin. Mayor, thanks for being with us. Looking at the calendar, you've been on the job for about 60 days. How's that going?
It's going fine. We were inaugurated on January the 4th. We got sworn in January the 4th. We've had 3 council meetings and all other kinds of committee meetings, and the harmony with my fellow councilmen and the staff has just been terrific. Great start.
I suspect moving from a lifetime as a city of Marietta resident to coming in as the mayor, I guess outside you've got some perspective, but when you get inside and see what it takes to run the city, were you surprised by what you found, how much work's involved?
Very much so. I forget how many different segments and how much diversity we have in our city, and getting out and meeting different people and seeing different needs has been quite time-consuming.
Reading your bio on the city's website, which is a great website, your folks do a really good job on that. I was reading in there, and you made a point in your letter to the citizens and the visitors of Marietta that you value everybody regardless of, let's say, the price point of their house, whether they're in a mobile home, an apartment home, or they're in a single-family house or a condo. And I think that's a great message to send. You've been here for a long time. How have you seen Marietta evolve, and how do you then connect with all these different types of citizens?
By being involved, I was on the first girls club, I've been on boys club, I've been YMCA, my own church and our missionary work we have in our church. But I think just seeing the people in this community and knowing what they're up against and how we can help them, how we can help each other has been a great benefit. And from the years of service, it's just always been contact. I'm a very much people person, and I enjoy people of all walks of life.
Our station here, our program goes out throughout all of Cobb County, and certainly most of your experience, at least being born and raised, was here in Marietta. Tell us about your family history. When did your family come here, and why did they stay here?
Well, my grandfather and his 4 sons came to Marietta to open up a lumber yard. They opened up at Atlanta Road towards Smyrna, and they also had a place just about right here.
Oh, okay.
Across from the Strand, they had you had to have a downtown store as well as, they had a planing mill and they ran lumber, dressed it, right. And then their downtown stores sold paint and supplies. This is 1934, and they even sold the paint for the Strand Theater, which is a history light. But I was born here, but my father and mother chose Marietta, so I'm proud that they looked and saw the opportunity in Marietta then, and I think we still have the same opportunities now.
Looking at the role government plays, Cobb County, certainly we're experiencing some challenges with the economy. Revenues are down, so we're having to make some tough decisions with the overall goal of providing services. How's the city faring with that challenge?
The city started almost 2 cycles earlier, and we have already begun. We've had a hiring freeze in place for a year and a half. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, our employees have taken on the chin. They've had no pay increases, no overtime. So we've done all that, but yet we've done it without cutting services or raising taxes. We have a good diversity of income because Marietta is fortunate enough to have the Board of Lights and Water, which is probably over half our revenue. And then property tax is only 14 or 15% of our revenue. And we get very little money from the state of Georgia, who is probably having the most significant cuts. Right. So, not being dependent on the state will probably put us in a good position to ride this out and hope the economy turns real soon.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of pulling for that. Yeah. Absolutely, the county is for sure. When I look around the city limits of Marietta, you see the occasional, you see some partially developed projects. Same thing we're facing in unincorporated Cobb as well. Any forecast on your part, any game plan to help these things move along, or are we kind of in the hands of the banks right now?
We're in the hands of the bank and the consumer. Mm-hmm. And, and everything's tied. We have some developments that could really bring the type of things that could also attract businesses once they're developed. But, it's unfortunate that, just within a mile of here, we have 4 really nice projects. One's called Meeting Place, just over, I don't know, they don't know where we're sitting, but
right, just off the square over towards the county central library.
Right, just off by the library. One out Powder Spring Street called that the Marriott Company's waiting to develop, and then there's one over there called that Hedgewood was building, the Monjay district,
Right.
and all three of them, right now they're on hold, but they're great opportunities when the economy does turn. The infrastructure is in place, they have quality plans, and I think what we're doing now, while we're waiting for things to turn, we'll not get over eager, but we will develop them with the same high quality we had in mind 3 years ago. So we might have to make a few hard decisions and turn down maybe the quick buck, so to speak, right, to wait for quality. And I think our entire council and our the Marietta staff is committed to that. So we're, they're there. The PVC pipe is there, but that's always might be the first step in progress when the opportunity arises.
Gotcha. Now, what about Franklin Road? Every time or frequently when I look at the paper, it seems like the city is really putting a lot of effort over there, a lot of focus there. In the course of your next 3.5 years in office, where do you see that going? Are there priorities that you've set in place or continuation of stuff that Mayor Dunaway had in place?
Yes, it's not probably. It is the densest populated segment of our city. Mm-hmm. And, when you have people close together, you have all types, and it is high on our list. We have more crime out there than we'd like. We have over 1,100 children in our 8,000 student city school system that come from there. So it's a high priority. And we do have things. The first thing we did with our park bond, we had an opportunity to buy, I guess what we call blighted apartment complex. And we're going to turn that blighted apartment complex into a great park. It's got 13 acres, and it's next to another 3 or 4 acres that the city already owns. So we're going to take that opportunity to make the area less dense and give those people some quality of life issues that they hadn't had before. And I think our police focus on the area to make that safe for the citizens that live out there. And also we have a weed and see where we provide opportunities for young people and just all types of people but we're focused on the quality of life and to manage it, that particular area.
The Weed and Seed program is great. I've seen nothing but great reviews on that. We've just got about a minute left. With you being mayor, the city will tend to take, and I've seen this everywhere, will tend to take the direction and the philosophy of its leadership into how it carries out its daily duties. Can you tell us a little bit about what your philosophy is on management and kind of the direction you want to take the city into?
Yes, my main philosophy of management is stick to the knitting, that we not to jump toward every new fad there is, but our first priority will be to deliver the basic goods that we're expecting. Mm-hmm. Give the people the most bang for their buck. Whether that's sanitation, police protection, fire protection, making sure that our roads flow well. So I like the basics, and also to be creative and think outside the box and to achieve those gains. My own personal thing is be persistent. Get there early in the morning and leave late at night, and to do it probably, I guess, in a quiet way, so to speak. I believe actions go a lot farther than words. So I hope that's the philosophy that we will take.
I don't think that's ever steered anybody wrong. Mayor, thank you for taking the time to come over and be on TV23 with us, and hopefully we'll have a chance to catch up with you maybe later in the year and see how things are moving along.
Thank you.
And we're going to take a break and be back.